Welcome to the Colorado Department of Public Safety. We are excited that you have made us your employer of choice. You have joined the second largest employer in the state of Colorado, which includes over 95,000 employees. You have gone through an extensive selection process and you were carefully chosen for your position. We hope you will enjoy your employment with CDPS and look forward to the contributions you will make to Colorado. The learning objectives of this new employee orientation are to make you feel welcomed, informed, and valued, gain an understanding of state policies and procedures, and share resources to support you in your position and help you succeed in your CDPS career. Our goal as state employees is to improve the state government and to make our state a better place to live, work, and play. We have the opportunity to build greater public confidence in government by making it more effective, efficient, and elegant. CDPS, one of the 16 executive branch offices, was created by the legislature July 1st, 1984, and counts over 1,860 employees. Our department mission is engaged employees working together to safeguard the public and deliver diverse public safety services to local communities. CDPS consists of 5 divisions that cover a breadth of safety programs and services. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, provides law enforcement services to local, state, and federal law enforcement and government agencies, including managing statewide criminal justice information, assisting with criminal investigations on request, conducting criminal and civil background checks, and operating an internationally accredited forensic laboratory system. The Colorado State Patrol promotes safety, protects lives, and preserves state highways through several of its programs. The Division of Criminal Justice, or DCJ, provides services to crime victims, conducts criminal justice research and analysis, and supports the management of offenders. The DCJ's range of statutory charges includes technical assistance, grants management, data collection and reporting, victim assistance, the creation of standards for community corrections, sex offender management, and domestic violence offender management. The Division of Fire Prevention and Control, or DFPC, safeguards the lives of those who live, work, learn, and play in Colorado by reducing fire threats to people, property, and the environment. Each of its 12 programs supports the division's mission in various ways, including through code enforcement, wildfire preparedness and suppression, training and certification programs, public information and education, and technical assistance to local governments. The Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, or DHSEM, consists of 3 offices and multiple programs that support the division in providing leadership to Colorado communities to prevent, protect, mitigate, respond, and recover from all hazard events, including natural disasters and human acts. The Executive Director's Office, or EDO, is the backbone of the Department of Public Safety, providing effective administrative and management services to the department's 5 operating divisions. In addition to administering central functions such as financial services, human resources, rulemaking support, and government relations, the EDO houses the Colorado School Safety Resource Center and the Colorado Criminal Justice Information Systems. Please take a moment to watch this video to learn more about the public safety services we provide. Let's have a look at your employment status and conditions of employment. As a classified employee, you are subject to the rules, procedures, and regulations that govern the state personnel system. All employees are required to follow universal policies and state law. Classified employees have certain appeal and grievance rights established specifically for the state personnel system in the state's constitution, statutes, personnel board rules, and personnel directors' administrative procedures, and CDPS policies. Your position description outlines the expectations of your position and is typically provided to you at the time of your final offer. FLSA status is determined by your position duties. Your position could be eligible or not eligible for overtime. Non-exempt employees will be paid overtime hours worked at a rate of 1 1/2 times your hourly salary, or you will earn compensatory time off at the rate of 1 1/2 times the overtime hours worked. Acceptance of comp time is a condition of employment for non-exempt employees. Exempt employees are not eligible for overtime. Your base salary must fall between the minimum and maximum of your class pay range. You can view the fiscal year 18-19 compensation plan by visiting the HR intranet site. Any secondary employment must be approved by your appointing authority. New employees go through a 12-month probationary period. After successfully completing the probationary period, an employee will be certified in their current class. A 6-month trial period applies to transfers and promotions. How and when do I get paid? Permanent employees are paid monthly on the last working day of the month. Temporary employees are paid on a biweekly basis, which is every other Friday. You can view the payroll schedule by visiting the HR intranet. Remember to approve your time card regularly and at least on a monthly basis. Paychecks are not mailed but directly deposited into the employee's bank account. Employees can view their pay stubs via employee self-service. We encourage you to view your pay stubs regularly.
Hi, I'm Steve Holland. I'm your IT director. I'm responsible for the oversight of a team of 34 people that are dedicated to help support all of the IT systems that you use here at CDPS. We are a full service IT shop to where we provide all of the operational support for IT systems, 24/7 operations. We have people here that can help you with all type of things, such as if you need to have a new system developed, we have a team of people that can actually develop a system for you. Or if you have a large application that you need to buy, we have people that can help you write all the requirements that you need to put the bids out for a new system, and then also help you with selecting vendors, and then implementing the system whenever the system's finally been purchased and all the contracts have been worked out. We also have a team of a number of different people that are here that can help support all the network required to run the systems, switches, routers, firewalls, all those things necessary to make sure our systems are secure and safe. We also have people here that help with service desk issues to help you solve problems with your computer, help you order new equipment. If you have problems with your systems, your applications, we have people that are here that will answer the phone 24/7 to assist with your needs. The way that you can get in touch with us is a couple of different ways. One thing is you can always call our service desk at 303-239-HELP. That's 4357. And we're going to have somebody here dedicated to answer your calls 24/7 in case you have a problem with your system, your application, your computer. You can also reach us by reaching into our online service desk application at OIT service desk _CDPS at state.co.us. That's our email address that you can reach us at, or you can go to our URL for our service desk application at oit-cdps.state.co.us and submit an online service desk ticket. Then we'll have somebody reach out to you to try to help you with your issue. One of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about is a very, very important issue that has to do with cybersecurity. We want you to actually think about all of the data and the systems that you have here at CDPS as if it is your own system at home. Treat it if it's your own data. Treat it if it's your own charge accounts and bank accounts at home. There are a lot of people out there in the world that are that really try to break into systems and do damage to systems. And we have a lot of applications and services here that try to prevent that, as far as firewalls, intrusion detection systems. But a lot of times the things that basically get in our way is frankly our own two hands, as far as if somebody is clicking on a link in an email that somebody sent, all of a sudden some sort of malware or ransomware could be put on your computer and do a lot of damage, not only to your system, but also to the other people that work with you. Sometimes if you click on a link, it might plop something called ransomware on your computer. And that's especially heinous because what it'll do is it'll start corrupting the files that are on your computer. And because you're connected to our shared systems, our shared network, it starts corrupting files on everybody else's systems that you're partnering with. We've had situations where unfortunately somebody clicked on a link that they shouldn't have, and they got some ransomware. And before we could stop it, it had actually corrupted 80,000 files. Ransomware is called that because what they actually will do is they'll inject this package onto your computer, and then they'll either send you an email or they'll have something pop up on your screen that says, we've corrupted a lot of your files, and if you'd like to have the key to uncorrupt those, send us $300 via Bitcoin. And you could try to do that, and you might get the key, or you might not. But we don't pay ransom here because we have everything backed up, especially if it's data that's on our shared environment. So what you'll need to do if you do happen to do something like that is call it on yourself. Immediately call the service desk. Don't submit an online service desk ticket. Call the service desk at 303-239-HELP and report this. And some of our folks will be working through how to sanitize your computer, how to sanitize all the files that may have been corrupted. All right. Be careful about things like this, not only on your own email system here at work, but also at home. I've had situations to where I've had emails come to my home email account that, on the surface look like it may be something that comes from, say, one of your credit cards, maybe from MasterCard or American Express, and it really looks legitimate. And they ask you to click on a link because maybe somebody's access to your account somewhere. But don't believe it. Don't trust it. If you see something like that, again, especially if there's something in there that is an email that comes to you from somebody that you don't know, and they have a link, don't ever click on it because 99% of the time you're going to get some sort of a malware. Also, be careful about even someone that possibly sending something to you that has a link on it. You may want to just go ahead and take a little bit extra time to call the person to make sure, because some of the techniques that people have used is they've gotten in and taken over someone's email account, and then they have access to their contact list, and they'll just send out a blast email out to everybody. They'll spoof it and make it look like it's coming from a legitimate inside CDPS person, but it's not. It actually has something that says, click on this Google link. I have something that you want to see. And unfortunately, it's some sort of malware or it's some sort of ransomware. One of the things we want you to do as a new employee is we want you to go out and take our cybersecurity training class. You'll be provided with a link to that. You'll be provided with your user ID, which happens to be your employee ID or your 997 number. It'll ask you for a few things to go ahead and set up a new password. But we want you to take this class within the first 30 days of you joining the department. And that'll actually satisfy your cybersecurity training for your first year. But then after you're into year 2, year 3, year 4 of your career, we're going to be asking you to take a training class like this on a quarterly basis. So that way we can make sure that everybody stays up to date on all the cybersecurity awareness tips that we could provide to you. But I want to close by saying that, again, we have people here that are dedicated to help make sure your systems are up and running 24/7. We understand thoroughly that if these IT systems are not up and running every single day to where whenever you open up your laptop and your systems are running perfectly, then you can't do your work. So our mission is to basically help you make sure that you can do your work. If you ever have any kind of an issue, don't forget to call 303-239-HELP or submit a service desk ticket, and we'll be happy to help you. And I want to go ahead and also close by saying I add my welcome to you as a new employee. I think you've made a great decision joining a great team. Thank you.
I'm Susan Redmond, the Chief Compliance Officer with CDPS, and I want to talk to you today about statewide policies overview. The state's constitution, statutes, and personnel rules establish statewide policies. Then we have universal policies, which are applied uniformly across all departments and institutions of higher education. For each department, they set their own internal policies, their goals, and initiatives, which are then aligned with the state's initiatives. And as a CDPS new hire, you are required to review and acknowledge electronically CDPS policies within 30 days of hire. So let's talk about policy development. CDPS policies are developed through a collaborative, inclusive process led by the CDPS Policy Committee. Committee members represent all divisions in CDPS. The most effective way to voice your opinion on CDPS policies is to do so while the policy is under discussion by the Policy Committee. You may contact your division's representatives regarding questions or ideas or suggestions regarding policies, or you may submit your ideas for new policies or improvements to existing policies via the CDPS Policies Idea Form. That's located on the CDPS intranet. Make sure to include a clear, justifiable reason for the policy, the problem that you're going to solve, the business purpose to achieve, and the desired outcomes of the policy. So that's just a really quick way that you can join into the policy development for CDPS. To review a draft of policies and to provide input, visit the CDPS Policy Committee page on the intranet. In addition to policies, mandatory online compliance training is required of all state employees, regardless of classification, and you must complete the compliance trainings within the first 30 days of employment. Watch for links to this training. They'll be arriving in your email box soon. And some of the trainings that you'll be taking for the compliance trainings are preventing discrimination and harassment in the workplace, preventing sexual harassment in the workplace, preventing violence in the workplace, and ethics and conflicts of interest. So look for those when they arrive in your email. Let's also talk about other ways that we can look out for compliance or ethical concerns. If you suspect any fraudulent activity by any member of CDPS, contact the Compliance and Professional Standards Office via phone or email. You can email me directly at susan.redmond@state.co.us, or you can call me at 303-239-4413. If you have a question about an ethical behavior or an ethical situation, please review the CDPS policies or your division policies. Then discuss your concerns with your supervisor. And finally, if you're uncomfortable with discussing with your supervisor, feel free to contact the Compliance and Professional Standards Office. If you witness or suspect policy violations, review the existing policies to confirm whether the observed behavior violates policy. And please note that your division policies may be more restrictive than the department policies. Report it to the individual supervisor or your own supervisor. And in any of these cases, it's important to have factual information. So you may be asked to explain or to document what you observed or heard or etc. So focus on those observable facts, not conjecture or assumptions. And finally, do not make any assumptions about the intent. I'd like you to remember, you are now the face of this agency. So please keep in mind that all of your communications are subject to core requirements here at the state level. Thanks so much.
Compensation. The state of Colorado's compensation philosophy is defined in Colorado Revised Statute 2450-104 and requires that the state of Colorado provide prevailing total compensation to ensure that the state is able to recruit, reward, and retain a qualified workforce. Please click the link below to watch this benefits video for an overview of state benefits available to you. Here is a summary of what you need to do to enroll or waive your health and insurance benefits. Enroll at www.benefitsolver.com. The state of Colorado's company key is SOC. You have 31 days after date of hire to enroll in health and optional benefits and to upload dependent verification documents. Once the 31 days have passed, Enrollment or changes can only be made if you have a qualifying mid-year life event change, such as birth, marriage, or spousal employment changes, or during open enrollment in the spring. Your benefits are effective on the first of the month following your hire date. Please call CDPS HR with any questions. Retirement. 2 types of plans are offered through the Colorado Public Employees Retirement Association, or PARA. The PARA Defined Benefits Plan, or DB plan, is the traditional pension plan where employees' contributions are invested by professionals. Under PARA's hybrid DB plan, employees earn a monthly lifetime retirement benefit based on age, number of years of service, and the highest average salary. Upon termination of employment, employees have access to their contributions, plus interest and an employer match if applicable. Employees also qualify for additional built-in benefits, including survivor and disability benefit coverage. In the PARA Defined Contributions Plan, or DC plan, employees direct their investments to an array of fund options, similar to a 401k plan. Under the PARA DC plan, employees set how their contributions will be invested. The PARA DC plan is based solely on the money the employee and employer have contributed, and the investment earnings or losses incurred minus expenses. The amount of an employee's retirement benefit is difficult to determine given that the amount depends on the success of that employee's investment decisions, when the employee begins withdrawals, and life expectancy. With the PARA DC plan, employees bear the risk of outliving their investments. Employees have 60 days after the hire date to make a retirement plan selection. You can also enroll into any of the optional PARA plans, 401k and 457. You can start or stop contributions into optional PARA plans at any time. Please remember to attend a new employee PARA orientation within 2 months of your hire, or visit copara.org for information about PARA plan options. The state of Colorado leave. Regular attendance and punctuality are an essential part of employment with the state. Employees must use their leave responsibly. Any leave should be requested as far in advance as possible. Supervisors determine the type of leave to be used. Classified employees earn leave on the last calendar day of the month, but it is not available for use until the first day of the following month. Permanent, full, and part-time employees who work less than a full month earn a prorated amount of leave time. Annual leave is used for personal needs such as vacation or personal business. Please review the accruals and caps shown on your screen. Leave caps are applied at the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. Sick leave is provided for health reasons. It may also be used for the health needs of a parent, spouse, child, or legal dependent. Full-time employees accrue sick leave at 6 hours and 40 minutes monthly. Sick leave, like annual leave, is capped at the end of the fiscal year at 360 hours. Any sick leave that is capped is converted to annual leave at a 5-to-1 ratio. Bereavement leave provides up to 40 hours of paid leave to permanent employees at the time of death of a family member or other person. The appointing authority authenticates the relationship and grants requested leave as appropriate. Holiday leave provides permanent full-time employees on the payroll when the holiday is observed 8 hours of paid holiday leave to observe each legal holiday. Holiday leave accruals are prorated for part-time employees and employees who did not work a full month. All holidays must be taken by the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. Okay, so very quickly, I am just going to show you the Kronos Timekeeper system, which is the system that most CDPS employees will be using to track their time and leave. So a few things I want to say about this system before I get into it. You will be logging in with your 997 number, otherwise known as your employee ID number. If you don't know what that number is, ask your supervisor, or you can call HR and we'll be able to give you that 997 number. It's a pre-populated, it's a system-generated number that is done in our HRIS system. So definitely give us a call if you don't know what that is. And your default password is going to be welcome1 with an exclamation point. So that's capital WELCOME, the number 1 and an exclamation point. When you first log in, the system is going to prompt you to update your password and also to complete some security questions. Please make sure that you complete your security questions, because if you don't, then you won't be able to use the forgot your password link on the login screen in case you forget your password. So make sure you get that done when you first log in. So when you do first log in, this is pretty similar to what you're going to see. You see I have the My Time Card window here. I also have the My Calendar down here. And I also have the My Timestamp window right here, but some employees will not have that. I'll get into that a little bit later as to who has it and why. But first, I want to maximize my time card so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. So as you can see, I have a pre-populated schedule in this schedule column. Now, if you're a non-exempt employee, you'll have a pre-populated schedule, but you will be clocking in and out in order to track your time. And when you clock in and out, the times will be populated in the in and out columns. Now, if you're a trooper, a CBI agent, or a temporary employee, you will not have a pre-populated schedule. This column will be blank. So if it is blank, don't be alarmed. It's supposed to be that way if you're a trooper, CBI agent, or a temporary employee. You will be tracking your time manually. You'll just be entering your time here in the in and out columns, because you guys tend to have schedules that are a little bit more erratic. So you will just go directly into your time card and you will just type in your in and out times. Okay. Now, if you're an exempt employee, not only will you have a pre-populated schedule, but you'll also have a pre-populated in and out time in these columns. All three of these columns will be pre-populated. So if you're exempt, really the only thing that you need to worry about is entering your leave in a timely manner. Okay. So that's kind of it for the time card. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you approve your time card on a regular basis. We recommend on a weekly basis, but definitely you'll need to do it on a monthly basis. And how you do that is you come over to approve time card, and then you can just click on approve time card. If you want to remove the approval, you just come back and remove a time card approval, and then it'll take it back off. Okay. You can also look at any specific period that you want. If you click on this drop down, it'll show you all kinds of time frames that you can choose from, or you can just click on this calendar and enter start date and end date, and it'll pull that up for you. Okay. So that's the time card. Now, the My Timestamp, I mentioned it earlier. This is for those non-exempt employees who have a pre-populated schedule but do not have pre-populated in and out time. So basically what you're going to do is at the beginning of your shift, you're going to clock in or you're going to log into the system, and then you will click on record timestamp, and it'll record the time that you came in. And then before you leave at the end of your shift, you'll log in and click on the button again, the record timestamp button, and it'll record the time that you left. Now, you won't be able to adjust or go back and fix any previous timestamps. So if you forget to clock in when you start your shift, let your supervisor know, and they'll be able to correct that for you. Again, this is just for those non-exempt employees who are not troopers, CBI agents, or temporary employees. Okay. So that's the My Timestamp. And then down here in the My Calendar, so I'm just going to click on this gear and I'm going to pop it out so we can see it, and then I'll maximize it so you can see it a little bit better. So this is the My Calendar. Now, if you want to request time off, this is where you come to do that. You just click on the Request Time Off button. And what the other thing that I really, really love about the My Calendar is that you can see your leave balances over here. Okay. And you can actually project these out as well. So if I want to take some time off in around July 4th, if you notice, my annual leave changed, and so did my sick leave. So it'll project out the leave that you have available on whatever date you input on the accruals on box. Now, if I want to take some leave, what I can do is I can enter a start date and an end date. So we'll just say May 23rd. And then I'm going to come down here and I am going to select whatever type of leave that I want to use. I will just use annual leave. Okay. Now, if I am one of those employees that has a pre-populated schedule and I want to use a full day, then I will just use full day. Now, if I'm a trooper, CBI agent, trooper or CBI agent, I'll have to add the hours manually because the system doesn't know what your schedule is. Also, if you only want to use a partial day, you will use hours as well. So let's say I want to start from 8 a.m. and I want to use 4 hours. Okay, and that's how I would enter it. And then I would submit it. And once I click submit, my supervisor would get an email saying that I submitted a time off request, and then they would be prompted to go in there and approve it. And then once the time off request is approved, it'll show up on my time card, and I'll also get an email letting me know that it was approved as well. Okay, so that's how you would request your time off. And I'm just going to go back to my time card. And that's basic navigation for the My Timekeeper or the Timekeeper system. You also have some options over here as well. You can go into My Reports and My Audits. These just show you different reports and different information that show you if someone has changed something in your time card or made updates or anything to your time card. You can also change your password early if you want to by going to change my password. You can also change your security questions by going to change my password as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Timekeeper system. If you have any questions about this, definitely contact HR and we'll be able to help you through this. There are also some job aids available on the HR intranet site that you might find helpful as well. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the telestaff system really quickly. I'm just going to give a short demonstration. So this system is used by CBI InstaCheck and identification units only. So if you are in either one of those units, you will be using telestaff to track your time and your leave. Now, on the login screen, your user ID will be your 997 number, otherwise known as your EID number. If you don't know what that is, ask your supervisor or call HR, and we'll be able to pull that information for you. Your default password is going to be 1234. That is going to be your default password. And when you log in for the first time, it will prompt you to pick another password. So be sure to do that when you first log in. If you ever need a password reset, your supervisor or HR can reset that password for you. And again, it's just going to default back to 1234. So anytime you've had your password reset, just 1234, it'll prompt you to do a new password, and then you'll be able to get in. Now, when you first log in, this is similar to what you will see. Okay. So just a few things I want to show you in the system. The first is the My Info. So if you go here, you will find your information, your name, your 997 number, all of that information. You can change your password here if you want to before you're prompted to. And you'll also be able to see your profile, which will have your job title and that information. And lastly, you'll also be able to see your assignments. So this is the shift that you will be assigned, and that's where you can see it here. You won't be able to update any of this information. So if any of this information is incorrect, tell your supervisor or tell HR, and we'll be able to update that information for you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go to is calendar. So if you notice, I have these little yellow boxes on my calendar. This is annotating my schedule. So I am supposed to work Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. And then I have off on Saturdays and Sundays. So these colored boxes are annotating what my scheduled time is. Now, when I actually start to work, there will be little white boxes that will show up under the yellow boxes, and it'll show when I actually worked. Okay, so let's say, for example, on this day, I actually worked. You guys won't have all of these codes available. I just have them because I'm the administrator. But let's say on this day, I actually ended up working let's say I actually ended up working, say, from 9 a.m. to, let's say, 5 p.m. And this system is going to be using military time. So I'm going to put in 1700 as soon as it's done loading. So as you can now see, the times I actually worked this day have changed. Okay. So, and these little white boxes will be pre-populated for you, for your supervisor. I just put one in for demonstration purposes, but if you see these, I just wanted you to know what they looked like and what they were. Now, let's say, for example, I want to submit a time off request. What I would do is I would click on the day, and then I would click add, and then I would select the type of leave. So let's just say I wanted to use annual leave. Okay. And it has pre-populated my schedule for me. So if this looks okay, then I don't have to change anything. But if I wanted to do a partial day, I would just change the in and out times, again, using military time. And then I would check the box and I would click save. Okay, so if you notice, leave boxes, they are red. So if you see one of those, it means you've submitted a time off request or a leave request for annual leave, sick leave, or whatever you submitted, and then your supervisor would have to approve it. Now, because I'm an administrator, I put in this annual leave and it doesn't have an asterisk, but you will see an asterisk, and that means that it hasn't been approved yet. Once that asterisk goes away, it means that your supervisor has approved the leave. So that's how you submit a leave request in the Telestaff system. Now, how do you find your leave balances? So this system is not capable of showing you your leave balances. So what happens is a report is generated on a monthly basis, which deducts the leave that you took and adds the leave that you accrued. So those reports are sent out to you guys on a monthly basis by the 10th of the following month, or the following working day if the 10th falls on a weekend or holiday. So that's how you see your balances for the month. And of course, you can always come in here and look at your calendar and see what leave you've entered and what's been approved and what hasn't. Over here, you can also pull a few different reports. I'm not going to go into all the different reports that you can pull, but there are some available reports in here if you want to see, for example, the leave that you've used in a different way. You can come in here, or how many hours you've worked in a month. You can come in here and pull different reports. But I will let you guys take a look at that and kind of play around with all the reports you can pull, just so you know what's in there. But that is basically it with the Telestaff system. So if you have any questions, ask your supervisor or call HR and we'll be able to assist you.